Hey guys, welcome back to another Maledictor update. This is actually going to be a short one this time around. Not from lack of doing things, but from one thing in particular taking a long time. And also I was a little sick this month, so lost a little bit of time for that. But anyway, let's jump on into it, and this is going to be a short one. So first off, tweak the pistol sound, and also improved the submachine gun sound. So yeah. Pretty self-explanatory. The weapon sounds, they're not bad. I just wanted to kind of add a little bit more punch to them. So I went in and I messed with the mixing a little bit and changed some things up. So now the pistol sound and the submachine gun sound way better. It's a lot nicer. Improved bullet casings. So that's mostly just adding a little bit of randomization to the rotation of the bullet casings. When you used to shoot, the bullet casings would always just pop out at the same angle, and they would just have a slightly different velocity. So it, looked all right, but wasn't as good as it could have been. So I went and I added a randomized rotation with some limits so that a bullet's not coming out upside down or whatever. But now there's just a little bit more variation with the bullet rotation, and the bullet casings just look better, especially when you're shooting something like the submachine gun that pops a lot of shells out at once. Fixed a bug with enemy projectiles. This was kind of a strange one in that the enemy projectiles were coded wrong, but they still worked. So it would only be an issue when you were really paying attention in really kind of specific circumstances. But now I went in and I fixed it so that now it works as intended and is coded to work as intended. So it's not working accidentally now. So very happy with that change. Glad I found it. Optimized enemy behavior trees. So one of the things with the enemy behavior trees is that they had a little bit too much bloat in them, and there's still a little bit here and there. What I want to do later, once I'm done with E1M8 and I'm kind of not wrapping things up, but finalizing things a little bit more, is I want to go in and I want to actually really optimize the behavior trees. Because each enemy is having to run its own behavior tree. So having those be as simple, not necessarily simple in a bad way, but as optimized to flow as well as possible, and have as little bloat as possible, is good. So I want to go in and I want to push that optimization a bit further, but for now, it's better than it was. And I have also learned a good bit more about the behavior trees as well. So now I'm able to, I think I should be able to actually go in and optimize it a lot. Next, boss attacks have been added. So this is one of those things that is just one little bullet point that took a while. Because it's not just, one attack I put in. It's, I believe, 6. So the boss has 6 different attacks, and they all come up, well, several of them come up in specific circumstances. So there's a bit of nuance to some of the attacks, and trying to set them up so that they can interact with each other potentially. So I'm happy with how the attacks have all come out, and they all work, from what I have seen, all work as intended. So hopefully I won't have to go in and fix those, because right now they seem like they should be pretty good. Next, more sprites. Even as short of an update as this is, it still gives us the tradition of more sprites. Next, darken the player light, and that's kind of a nice one because I was running into an issue with a lot of sprites as you would get closer to them, because the player emits a natural light source around them, well, really in front of them, just to make it easier to see things directly in front of you. But what was happening was the light was a bit too bright before, So as you would get closer to certain things, it would actually blow them out a bit, especially if they had a gray in them, because it would take like a 75% gray. So not if 100% is pure white, and then 75%, you're 3/4 of the way to white. It would take those and it would completely blow them out. And it made it very difficult to kind of look at sprites close up. So I lowered the brightness of the flashlight so that it will lighten things up to a point. If certain things are already bright, then it's not going to add more light into them and make them too bright. So it's a much better looking light, and it kind of feels a little bit more like a natural light, just kind of emanating a little bit, so it doesn't feel like you've got this ultra bright flashlight like clipped onto the character's shirt or something. And finally, boss sprites added. This is another one that took a while. Yeah, doing the sprites for enemies always takes a while because you have to do multiple sprites per action. So the attacks needed multiple sprites for the animations, and like a death animation needs multiple sprites in it, so it just takes a while. And the boss also needed a bit more editing than usual for the sprites, just because he's the boss. He needs to look a little bit more visually unique. So I had to spruce him up a bit, and had to which involved a lot more paint over and adjustments to things. So that one took a little bit, but got them all done. So now the boss sprites are completely done, and I need to actually make them animated in the game itself and assign all that stuff around. But the pieces for all the animations are there. So the boss is not 100% done yet, because I still need to add in his first phase works. First phase is going to be really short stuff, so that's going to be easy. His second phase is actually done, but then I need to make E1M8 and script things a bit, and then integrate those with the save system. So there's going to be some boss level specific things I need to do. But for the most part, the boss is done. So I wanted to get into E1M8 a little bit, ideally, if possible, but being sick and also having to work on the attacks and the sprites, and I did more attacks than I thought that I would, so added a little bit more work for myself into it. So it was as much work done as I had hoped to do, or I don't know, that was the goal. I got the goal amount of work done. I hoped to do a little bit more. Technically I did, but I didn't do quite what specifically I had been hoping to do. So we'll get into that next month, though, or this coming month. Technically this month, but anyway, we'll get into that. Ideally, I would like to have E1M8 done, and have the boss fight implemented and everything. So fingers crossed for that with E1 for this month with E1M8. E1M8 is it's a boss arena, so it should be a bit easier, a lot more small scale. So it should be easier to get that level in. But I'm also gonna have to come up with a lot of sprites for it too. So who knows? Hopefully, going into testing it, hopefully the scripting and everything will work fine, and all the save stuff will be all right. Won't be too hard. I don't think it will be, but you never know. But yes, it is. That's kind of a thing I've been dreading, getting the boss stuff done. So that is a big road bump gone. So happy to have that done, and it is, I would like to say smooth sailing from here, but I feel like I've thought that enough before to where I know that's probably not true. We'll wind up running into something at some point, but for now, it's looking good. And yeah, that's it for this update, actually. So I guess I will head on out, give you a short one, and we'll see you guys next month. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good one, everyone.